Is it going to come back? Oh, it started rocking there for a moment, and it looked as if it might come back the 3-pin and knock down the 1 for 2 strikes in a row. This is for 2 marks in a row. And he does not get it as he punched out the 1, but not the 3. So 9 is the fill, and 9 in the box. Now Tom Olszta comes up, and he's working on a strike. So he has 2 bonus balls to roll. He has 2 strikes in a row, and 3 strikes in a row is worth an additional bonus of $1,000, and Tom Olszta did that 5 weeks ago. Is it going to go? All but 1 pin. And he made it. So it's $50 in bonus money, but it would have been $50 in bonus money for 3 strikes in a row, but there would have been an additional $1,000 if that 1 pin had gone down. Andy Cox on the line, and Andy Cox has himself a strike. Andy Cox now moves to lane 3 here at the fairway in Natick, and his first bonus ball gets him 1, 3. Second bonus ball. Total of 7. And in the box, an 8. All right, once again, we'll take a check on the scoreboard after 4 boxes in the middle string. Andy Cox had a 133 opener to Tom Olszta's 105. Right now, Tom Olszta, with a bonus ball still to roll, has 67 to Andy Cox's 53. Defending champion Tom Olszta on the line now. He has 3 marks in a row. He's working right now on filling a spare. He has a strike on his spare. $100 in bonus money in this string. All right, first ball is a thin hit, gets him just 5. The object pin now becomes the 2. He's got 2, 5, 7, 9, 10. All right, 7 is the fill. The bonus streak stops at 100. And in the box, it's an 8. $102 through 6. Challenger Andy Cox on the line now. That one went a little too far. He held onto it just a tiny bit too long. Andy is single, representing the Milford Candlenames. Made a spare out of it. And he has a strike on his spare. Our challenger, Andy Cox, is hanging right in here with Tom Olszta, our defending champion. Tom missed the head pin that time. No wood to help, but he has 1, 2, 4, 6, and 10. Two and 4 still there. It's a 10. Tom is married and has 2 children. And he is the manager of the Hippodrome Lanes in Southbridge. So close to another strike. Just the 4-pin. And there's a piece of wood that if it stays there, it'll be a roadblock. It's rolling off to the right. And he wants it to get out of there and to stay. Rolling back. But it's not going to roll in front of them. The way it was at first, it was at an angle far enough in front of the 4 so that he would not have been able to get at the 4. He would have hit the pin, it would have gone to the right, the ball to the left, and the 4 would still be standing. So he's going to have to go right at it. And he missed, much to the surprise of, I'm sure, himself and a lot of people. For a 10. So he has a pair of 10s that puts him at 122 with 2 boxes to go. Now remember, Andy Cox, our challenger today, has 2 marks in a row, and he's working on a strike right now with 2 bonus balls to roll, and he's already at 83. There's the first one. It leaves him 1, 3, 7, and 8. Oh, the lob cost him 3 pins. And, of course, Ralph Stewart, as our lob line judge and referee, sits right on the lob line. It could have been worse. It could have been that it cost him a spare. So the fill then became 6 rather than 9. And in the box, it is a 7 box. Chopped out a little on the left side. Still 6 pins standing, and it's 1, 3, 6, and then over left 4, 7. Missed everything. A 9 box. Is it going to be a 10? 9. Now Tom Olszta comes up. Barely right side with the 6 and the 10, unless he has some wood that gets in the way. The little groan you hear was because that wood seemed to be coming up as a roadblock, but apparently he's going to be all right. He can get at it. He can hit the 6-10. 6 went, but not the 10. And it just was a little too full on the 6. So it's another 10. That's 132. One and 3. Those are the 2 pins to convert for a spare. Made it, but it was a bit of an adventure. It didn't go as cleanly as they usually do. 142, plus what he gets on the next ball. Five more, 147. Now our challenger, Andy Cox. He led by 28 pins coming into this middle string. He has a little triangle over on the right made up of the 6, 9, and 10. And again, that tricky triangle where you get 1 or 2, but not all 3. $115. Don Riley is our statistician and coordinator. And, of course, Phil Rubin is our producer and director. Andy Cox with 7-pin alone over on the left, and on the right, he's got diamond plus 10. It's going to be close going into the third. Nice shot. A 124. Now, as Keefe works on the scoreboard and puts up the totals, both bowlers take a peek at it. They know how close it is going into the third string. A difference of 5 pins. Tom Olszta picked up 23, but not all 28 of the pins. And at the end of 2, it is our challenger, Andy Cox of Hopedale, Massachusetts, 257. Our defending champion, Tom Olszta of Sturbridge, Massachusetts, 252. That's Andy Cox on the line now, our challenger from Hopedale, Massachusetts, leading in the match by 5 pins as we go into the third string. Is it going to fall? That 2-pin? No, apparently the 2 pieces of wood, one on each side of it, are holding it up. So it's 2, 8, 10. And it went for a spare. Andy's doing very well. His first appearance on our show, his league average 117, and he's already rolled a 133 and a 124. Seven is the fill. Object pin now becomes the 6. He has 8 and 10 also. And he made it. 2 beautiful spares made by our challenger, Andy Cox. Now, Tom Olszta, our defending champion, trailing by 5 going into this third string. 1, 3, 6, and then on the left, the 4, 7. It's an 8 box. At the end of the show, our winner will have first chance at our high-low jackpot. It's now up to $1,175. He winds up with side-by-side 4 and 5. No wood to help.
Good try, good try. That one.
An 8 and a 10, and that's opposite spare 7 and spare what? We'll find out after Andy Cox throws this next ball, because this is another bonus ball. And he gets 7 more. On the left, 4, 7. On the right, the 6 pin. Ooh, he danced it across and almost made it 3 in a row. Nine. Our home viewer jackpot is up to $150. Four horsemen right side, plus the opposite corner, 7 pin. Oh, all but the 3 pin. Tom Olszta trailing by 21 pins. the 3-pin, and then the 4 and 7.
Good try, have one.
Had to hit that 3, and he was trying to just skin it to try to skip it over there to get the 4-7. It's a 9-box.
Okay, go for a break. Come on, right on. Come on, Tommy.
Oh, what a tough spare leave this is. Unless he gets something to fall. Yes, he did. The 5-pin fell. Otherwise, he would have had 4-5 side by side and 7-8 side by side. Now it's the 4, 7, and 8. And it didn't go. Once again, that tricky, tantalizing triangle. So with 6 boxes to go, it's still a 21-pin lead in the match for this young man, our challenger, Andy Cox from Hopedale. He's bowling superbly. As I told you, his league average is 117. He has rolled already a 133 and a 124. He has a spare leave here with a 5-9. And, oh, I thought he had it. He hit the 5, but kicked it too far to the right. Nine box. Is it going to fall? Nope. 2-pin didn't fall. So it's 2 and 7. Wood up against the 7. So it would seem either side of the 2-pin would allow him to make this. He chose to go left side, and it worked. So a spare in the 6. Now, Tom Olszta opposite a 9 and a spare, trailing by 21. 6 boxes to go. Is he going to get it? He's going to get one. It's a strike. Slow motion strike. First bonus, tough split. 7 and 9. Piece of wood. He wants it to stop somewhere out a little bit in the front where he can use it, but it's rolling back. If it comes out just a little bit, he can use it. He wants to take a peek. He's using his long-range vision here to try to figure out if he can go to the one side and not the other. He wanted to just nick the end of that piece of wood and carry it over. So it's a 10. That puts him at 66 in this string with 4 boxes to go. Andy Cox is already at 72, plus what he gets on the next ball. And he's going to get how much? He's getting 6. 78. And he made a nice spare, especially since he had the wood helped, of course, but he had to make it move, and he had those side-by-side pins. 2 and 3. 7 is his fill. That puts him at 95. Two pin on the left, 6 and 10 on the right. Wood against the 6. Little too full on that. So he hasn't been able to put 3 marks together, although he did pick up $50 for winning the first string. And he leads in the match. It's a 10. 17 pins the lead in completed boxes. But Tom is opposite now, a spare 7, so he must mark. He has the diamond on the left plus the 7 pin. Five pins still there. It's a 10 box. 24 pins. That's his deficit. He's opposite a 10. He did not get the big hammer that he wanted there. It's a 9 box. 25 pins. That's the lead for this young man, Andy Cox, our challenger, as he comes up to roll the final 2. The 1, 3, and 7. And, oh, not quite. I almost made the 7 go. It's a 10. 1 box to go now for Andy Cox, and of course Tom Olszta will come up no matter what happens here with a tough task in front of him. 2, 4, and 10. That's what Andy Cox is faced with right now. He got the 2, 4. The 10 did not go. He'll try to make it a 10 box. It's a 9 box. A 124. All right, in completed frames, Tom Olszta trails by 25. Going into the last 2 boxes. 2 full on the head pin. He still has 3 more. No mark in the 9th. It's a 7. Final frame now. He has a strike. He has 2 strikes in a row. He cannot win, but he can get another $1,000. One more would be an extra bonus of $1,000. The pins are set. Here goes Tom Olszta. Oh, not quite, no. And after 7 consecutive wins, Tom Olszta loses in the 8th week. As Andy Cox, making his first appearance on our program, defeats Tom Olszta and does it by 9 pins. They're looking across, and also another $50 in bonus money for Andy Cox for winning the 3rd string. Final score, Andy Cox, our new champion, 381, Tom Olszta, 372. $150 in our home viewer jackpot. The total is $753. That means, of course, if I draw a card that has guessed anywhere between $743 and $763, they will win that $150. If you'd like to get your card in guessing what the total pinfall would be, send it along, please, to Candlepin Bowling, WCVB-TV, 5 TV Place, Needham, Massachusetts, zip code number 02192. And remember, If I draw your card, even if it's nowhere near the total that day, you will be rewarded with several prizes like these.
A Hyponex plant food gift set contains fine quality Hyponex care products. Grow bigger, hardier plants with Hyponex plant food. Hyponex makes houseplants grow like crazy. And Monsieur Houbigant Musk Cologne, a primal appeal below the level of consciousness, makes it the world's most wanted musk. Stirring and sophisticated, there's no musk like it from Houbigant. And 2 cassette tapes from RCA. First, the latest album from America's favorite singer, Kenny Rogers. They don't make 'em like they used to. And from Samantha Fox, her latest album, Touch Me.
For $150. Anywhere from $7.43 to $7.63. Let's go over in the corner here somewhere and draw one out, shall we? This one is from Ruth Holroyd of Leominster, Massachusetts, and her guess is $7.35. So we'll add another $50 next week. Now, our high-low jackpot is worth $11.75, and Andy, you get first try at it. Hey, Thomas. Oh, you thought you had it for a second, didn't you? Stay here, would you please?
I hit a
And Andy, would you come right behind Tommy? This is an unaccustomed spot for him, coming up here first to get the runner-up trophy, but he knew he was going to get it eventually. He wanted it to come in about the 16th or 17th week, I guess. That's what he was thinking about. Well, let's see. Today, $300 and $150 in bonus money. And our coordinator statistician, Don Riley, reckons that in the last 8 weeks or so, you've been on our show, you've won $9,550.
Thank you.
You bet your life. Okay, Tom, it's always a pleasure to see you, and we'll be seeing you. Of course, you're still the top seed for our True Value show, which will be in late August. You're still number 1 with your 446, and it was a pleasure having you here for the last 8 weeks, and I'll see you in August, okay? Andy, you did the impossible, huh? Or that's what a lot of people thought, coming on here for the very first time and knocking off Tommy Olszta, huh? But you bowled, well, you bowled so well. You really did. I mean, when you can come in here and roll, you know, start off with a good first string and a good second string, and you stayed in there. Let's see, you got $700 for winning and $100 in bonus money. You also are marksman of the day. You had more marks than anybody, so you pick up from True Value Hardware Store this $50 gift certificate.
Thank you.
And another fellow from one of the smaller towns in Massachusetts, Warren, Massachusetts, Phil Clough will be your challenger next week, and I think you know Phil. And